The machine could do 500 bowls an hour.
All this chicken is lined up to be thrown in the trash. It's all on the assembly line to be thrown in the trash.
When he was mapping our universe, he found error correcting codes in our universe.
You do realize they have deleted all the creativity out of everything.
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Make sure you guys watch from start to finish. That helps the channel grow. But with that being said, let's get into it.
Now, I know I'm not tripping. What that look like? Or something else? Y'all notice on Roku, you know, they doing a little demonstration for the soccer stuff. I got something to show y'all. Hold on. Not really, but then look. You know you have to pay attention. Is that who's going to be the last contender? Hold on. Okay, I also want to point out, look at this. Y'all see, why is all the dragons? What volcano recently erupted? Think about it. Pay attention. Pay attention. And what's this symbol of everything being unplugged? You see what I'm saying? It already said go on to the game. I'm going to show y'all. Hold 1 second. Here's the dome, right? Y'all see a little Harry Potter thing, but why we got a ninja hanging off right here? Y'all explain this. Then here's one in the bushes. Y'all showing the soccer thing. It don't look like Mercedes-Benz. Of course, y'all know what's going to do that. But look right here. Explain it to me. Usually, like what's going on?
UFOs, too.
The Leviathan. I keep trying to tell y'all. Okay.
But what do you see with Ozzy Osbourne, though?
Textbook vampire ritual.
Okay.
From Eastern Europe.
So he's still here.
He's still here. Ozzy Osbourne, back in Eastern Europe, there, in Serbia in particular, there were these rituals, vampire rituals, right? Where you would have people that were of high regard, and Ozzy Osbourne is of high regard, right? Kind of what you would say is royalty, or like what would be equivalent to royalty back in those days. So they would have people they would give offerings to these vampires to keep their etheric energy alive. So that they wouldn't have to go feeding on anybody else.
Is it true that Aleister Crowley knew what he was doing? After all, he did summon an entity, and he was not alone. He had help from a medium by the name of Rhodey Minor. We actually don't even know what she looks like. This is just the closest image I can find that's the most reliable, because there are a lot of other images that show up that say it's her, and then when you Google search them with AI or whatever, turns out it's not her. So this faceless woman assisted Aleister Crowley when summoning Lamb, you know, the depiction of the thing that we know now today as the gray alien. But yeah, looking at Alamantra working, because that was the ritual that Aleister Crowley used to summon Lamb. You can find stories about these gray aliens that go back thousands of years. One of the stories is known as the Apocalypse of John, also known as the Book of Revelation. We have had about 70 years of pop culture referencing gray aliens to get us accustomed to the idea of them as they get closer to us. But Apostle John did not have anything to compare what he saw in his visions to. He couldn't say Paul. He couldn't say Roger from American Dad. He couldn't compare him to anything. So what did he say? Evil spirits that look like frogs. Yeah. I would say Aleister Crowley knew exactly what he was doing.
What's the biggest conspiracy theory that you believe in?
It's a great question. You know, that one about Avril Lavigne, everyone knows Avril died in 2004.
Yeah, this isn't her on tour right now.
No. She's had multiple body doubles. Same with Vladimir Putin.
Vladimir Putin, too.
He's got multiple plastic surgery people that go in and do different stuff, so yeah.
Which one are you more confident about? Putin or Avril Lavigne?
I'm gonna go with Avril on this one.
Yeah. What's your favorite song by Avril Lavigne?
Definitely Skater Boy. I made a cover at one point called Scooter Boy, and I'm a big fan.
Politics and news show you how to debate. They give you the questions and they give you the answers, and they put their 3-4 bananas on the panel, and you don't have to think. You just sit there mindlessly listening to these bozos, these bananas, and you're like, I believe in that one. You get mad, you get angry, and I believe in that one. And so that's a demoralization of a society, in my opinion.
Why haven't we seen the release of over 2.5 million additional Epstein file documents? It seems like you are someone that is on the right side of history on this.
So we've released, I think it's 6 million files or 6 million pages of documents. My understanding is that 2.5 million, Sonny. I'm going to check on this to make sure, but my understanding is that a lot of those are duplicates of things that have already been released.
So
we're not holding anything back.
Don't you let them trick you. You think all of them came here just to watch a football game? They know what's about to happen. See, the bad news is they're getting ready to transform and show their true nature. But the good news is, so are you. For entertainment purposes only. They need foot soldiers on the ground in Atlantis. That's why everybody's running to Atlanta. Don't you see how they trying to gas you up? Don't you peep the psychological warfare? Oh my goodness, this junky food is so good. Oh my goodness, your stadiums are beautiful, your land. You see how they gassing you up? That's because they don't want you to turn up once the game is over, and they stay. See, not all of them are what they say that they are. A lot of them are coming here just to be foot soldiers for when things pop off. They're slowly coming in and trying to integrate themselves. Hey, I'm not a threat. I'm just here to enjoy a little football and a little Waffle House. Is that really the case? Do you see what's going on? Do you see why the powers that be made such a concerted effort to clear out space? Yeah, they were making room for who they wanted to be around, for who they needed to be around, because the show is over.
Listen to this. This is crazy.
There was an altar found in Israel, Joshua's altar. So Joshua's altar was excavated, and they took the spoils from it, and they find this little lead tablet, and they know that something's going on with this. Because of computers and where we are, they're able to read what the script says. Joshua's altar is built right at the gateway to the promised land, and it says this: cursed, 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 cursed of Yahweh, you will be cursed, 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 cursed. So I was on a Zoom call with the archaeologist in Israel when he did the presentation on this. I said, I understand where it is, but this is not to the people of Israel. In my opinion, this cursing is to the inhabitants of the land, which are the seed of the dragon, which are the Nephilim tribes, which were never supposed to be there.
Larry Fink admitted that trillions of dollars being used to build data centers and power grids will come from ordinary people's savings accounts and pension funds, and says it is mandatory.
If we don't invest in it, China will be the global leader in this. And so to me, it's not whether. This is a must.
I mean, it's like the same script with this Iran. We must do this or they're going to get this. Like, who cares if China gets it first? We get everything in this everything in this house is from China. Why can't we get our artificial intelligence from China? Everything you sell us to make a profit is from China. Well, what's the difference with this? They just want our money, y'all. That's all they want.
And if you think about how that translates, it translates into a more dynamic economy. We need the United States economy to grow at over 2%. We need the U.S. economy to grow at 3%, especially with the growing deficits the federal government has. And so much of this money, not just the private, is going to be coming from the private sector. From savings accounts, from pension accounts, from insurance companies, and on and on and on.
Okay. China has hacked the West's economic system by weaponizing the greed and stupidity of our venture capitalists and our pundit class and turning it against us. They have allowed the growth of the sector itself while not having major companies go to the fucking New York Stock Exchange and just ring the bell for the highest possible fucking, market capitalization they can get so they can all become trillionaires and go to Mars. Seems like a better system to me.
So he went over and he started moving rocks out of the way to put it in there. And he says, there's something in here. And under a flat rock, he reaches down in there and brings out this metal can. It's about like that. Had a flat lid on it. Kind of pretty rusty, but good shape. And he said, oh, it's just an old tobacco can from a cowboy. And he's just going to throw it away. And I says, hang on, Dad. I've been out trapping and exploring. I've seen these cans tied to trees before. They're survey cans. I says, but I've never seen one this old before. All the ones I've seen are shiny or a little bit rusty. This one's really old. And so then my dad, oh, okay. So he picked it up and he twisted the lid back and forth, got the rust off, and pulled the lid off. And there was a note in there. And he pulled it out. And of course, Dave was looking over this shoulder and I was looking over this shoulder. And he opened it up. And the first thing we all kind of looked at was this. It said John Wesley Powell Survey Exploration 1889. A.H. Thompson in.
I really do not like Hollywood. It is not for me. The business really scares me. I understand that I'm a part of that business and I enjoy my kind of interactions with it. But that said, I am always looking for ways to kind of remove myself from it to kind of just live as normal a life as possible.
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration.
on how to play this role?
On behalf of Amy, I'd like to thank the devil.
When Tom Holland says that Hollywood scares him and that he wants to distance himself from it, most people assume he's just an actor tired of fame. But when you compare that to what Christian Bale did at the Golden Globes, thanking Satan live on stage for his role, it suddenly takes on a completely different meaning. Because they're two sides of the same coin. On one side, someone who sees what's happening and wants out. On the other, someone who's so deep inside it that he openly thanks what this industry supposedly represents. And nobody in the room reacted, almost as if everyone already understood the same unspoken rules. But Tom Holland isn't the only one who has wanted to escape. Actors like Cole Sprouse have spoken about what Disney put young stars through. Demi Lovato said she was pressured to change her body from a very young age, and other celebrities have described an environment where people who speak too much end up pushed aside or worse. And that's the real face of this industry, a system where the higher you climb, the more is demanded from you, where those who refuse are destroyed, and those who accept end up thanking the very thing that controls them in front of millions of people. Tom Holland said he wanted to live a normal life, and when someone at the top says something like that, it's not because they're simply tired of fame, it's because the price they're being asked to pay is too high, and he refuses to pay it.
It just baffles me that people are still wanting to go into Hollywood. People are still putting their young ones to be on Disney Channel, or they're still doing these things after everything that's come out. The music industry in today's day and age, when you can put your own music on YouTube, it's the fame, y'all. There's some people that they want the fame more than they want the money. The fame to them means a lot more than the money, right? They want to walk down the street and be worshipped. That's why they're going into all this stuff, I think.
What? Look at this.
4 different species of aliens. Another scientist called them Greys, Nordics, Insectoids, and Reptilians. All of them have like a lizard, praying mantis. The Greys.
Yeah, like, is this the Truman Show? I always wondered because it's so close to the Air Force Base. You know, whenever the eclipse happened, a couple years ago,
Yeah, if you don't drink the Kool-Aid, you don't drink the gold juice. So I was offered the gold juice 3 times in my 20s, my 30s, and
What's
my
that?
40s.
Pee? A lot of golden showers in
The
Burbank.
gold juice that I will live forever and I'll have whatever I want. The gold juice.
That's what was in the briefcase in Pulp Fiction, huh? The gold juice.
What the fuck is going on with our military? Today, a B-52 Stratofortress crashed shortly after takeoff at Edwards Air Force Base. If you don't know what a B-52 Stratofortress is, it's a fucking bomber. And by the looks of the video, it doesn't look like anybody survived this one. And just the day before, an F-18 crashed in the mountains over in Washington State. Check this video out.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, what the fuck? Oh my gosh!
Now, the pilot of the F-18, she was able to eject safely and was unharmed. But obviously, there was a wildfire that was sparked. Now, there's not much information out right now about what caused the crash of the B-52. But if I had to take my guess, it's likely not maintenance related. These things end up usually always being pilot related. Probably just like the F-18. These accidents usually come in bunches, so I'm pretty sure that we might be seeing some more here pretty soon.
This is a brand new video just taken on June 5th, 2026 that could showcase the clearest Bigfoot footage ever. It's a very HD video of a Bigfoot-like creature trying to hide behind some brush. The filmer zooms in and gets some very clear footage of its face, and we can see practically everything. Check it out.
Check this video out, y'all. Clear footage of a 12-foot Sasquatch. Look at him right there. Look at that eyebrow ridge. It's just amazing. Look at that.
The uploader claims that the Sasquatch was measured at approximately 12 feet tall. If this is the case, it would be almost impossible to be any kind of person in costume or any kind of wildlife that's been discovered. The details we can see the most are its dark human-like eyes, its strong brow ridge, large nose, and its leathery skin. I mean, this has to be some of the clearest footage yet. And most believe it's not AI because of how realistic it is. Usually you can at least tell a little bit if it's AI, but this one doesn't seem to be. Another thing people love about this one is how camouflaged the being is. Bigfoot is said to be a master of camouflage, a creature that can blend into almost every environment, and this here is a perfect example. The hiker probably never would have seen it if it didn't move, hidden in plain sight, but not at the same time. It seems like a really legitimate encounter that the hiker just happened to stumble upon, something he probably wishes he never stumbled upon. But let me know what you guys think of this footage in the comments. Is it the clearest and realest ever?
Dish Network, when it began selling services in Florida, found that there was this just narrow swath along the shore on the west coast of Florida where you could pick up TV Marti. That's illegal. You can't propagandize the American people.
Got it.
As Americans, we're not allowed to watch our own government's propaganda. So instead of telling Dish Network, well, you're going to have to like move your satellite or do something or pixelate it or whatever, said, no, we'll change the law. And so in the National Defense Authorization Act of 2016, the Obama administration said, no, we can propagandize Americans now.
Wow.
And so now radio, TV are no problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
The mystery of the photo where Trump officially confirms himself with aliens has been solved, or has it? During the World Cup opening ceremony, Trump put up this photo on the official White House Twitter and then immediately removed it, and it went mega viral as people are saying, this looks like Trump with either Nordic-looking or Pleiadian or tall white aliens. So what's happening? People have said the mystery's been debunked, as this is actually Trump meeting the Norwegian guard that allegedly, either in 2018 or 2019, that he met with the King and Queen of Norway. They came to the White House and they brought their guard, and that's what we're seeing. However, that never happened. In fact, Trump famously has wanted to meet the King and Queen of Norway, and they've given him the cold shoulder and wouldn't. And even the uniforms, their guards look totally different. They're all in black. So then what is this? Also, if that were true, why would he just put up something that was 2018, 2019 that doesn't exist and then just take it down like that? Looking more and more like this might be part of disclosure, and he's just showing us what aliens really look like.
They put it right in your face. This statue in New York, a reptile pulling a child underground. I really wish I could elaborate on this without getting in trouble, but I mean, I'm sure some of you, I hope, can connect the dots of what I'm saying here. They have a statue in New York of a reptile, an alligator, pulling what looks like a child underground into a sewer. Why? What is the reason?
Yeah,
Tell me.
that's crazy.
Do you think anyone is actually psychic? Personally?
My friends are going to laugh at me when I say, I think some people probably have some sort of abilities that others don't have. Yeah. I'm not saying that I would hang my hat on it or live my life based on it. I had this friend who went to a psychic once and she told him he was going to live to 88. And he started just jaywalking all over the place because he was like, no, I'm going to live till I'm 88. I'm not going to get hit. I said, you may live like as a quadriplegic until you're 88. He's like, I hadn't thought of that. But yeah, I think there are probably some people who are more sensitive to these kinds of things than others.
This is an interesting one. I talked with Zhang about this briefly, Professor Zhang.
Oh, yeah. Great. I have great respect for him.
This is all public. So the government once had a DARPA program called LifeLog, built to track every email, every photo, every location, every purchase a person made all in one place. They killed it on February 4th, 2004. The next day, Mark Zuckerberg filed the LLC for the Facebook Incorporated. Scale 1 to 10, how much of a coincidence is that?
No, a 1 or 2. There's some people, I'm not one of them, maybe you're not one of them, who are constantly thinking about how to monetize literally everything.
I mean, there's got to be some people out there that can tap into that part of their brain. I mean, the algorithm can kind of be psychic, right? We can think about something like, you should get a new mountain bike or something. Just think it. You start scrolling, start seeing mountain bike things, right? I'm kind of hungry. I'm gonna get some. Like, isn't Burger King like at one point we're trying to infiltrate your dreams, right? Like doing that type of stuff with technology.
Like that American hospitality for the World Cup is starting to change the way the world views America. Watch this clip.
I think it's more like because in Europe we have a lot of rather negative news about the Americans in the last 5 years, let's say that. And I think we are all enjoying like the fact that this country is so great to visit. The people are amazing, so welcoming. The culture is amazing. It's like Europeans are getting a new view of America right now, I think, through our content. And
I can't even begin to tell you how happy this clip makes me as an American. I think the most important thing that he said is that everything he's heard about Americans in America over the last 5 years is pretty negative. And I think even us as Americans would probably say the same based off what we hear, right? But then you go out for like breakfast, like a bagel deli shop, and you realize, oh, not everyone hates each other. You go out to lunch, you go out to dinner, you go out to a bar or club, and the vibes are just high. It's just normal everyday people. And these Europeans coming over and experiencing like that true American hospitality, not the politicians and the news stations that pin us against each other and promote hate. Like, there's a lot of love in this country. And I think having the Europeans and people from across the world coming over here and experiencing that true American hospitality and not like this rubbish that they push all over the news, I think it's doing wonders for this country. And I just love to see the vibes, like the true American positive vibes of, hey, let's just have a good time, man. Welcome to the United States, and I hope you enjoy your stay.
I think we have a clip coming up in today's video. I don't know if I put it on the video or not, but most people, not just in America, but let's just say Western civilization, because that's kind of what we know, right? I can't speak for other countries or whatever, but the majority of us just want a house. We want a vehicle. We want to pay our bills. We want to, have a burger on a Friday. We want to have a beer on a Saturday. That's the majority. But like he said, what the media, what the news, what the politicians, what the people that are paid by politicians, like this lady coming up right now in this next clip, they want to think that it is hell when you walk outdoors. And unfortunately, some people think that's how it is. Some people truly think that. They think if they go to the store, they're going to get this, they're going to get that, right? This person's going to rob them. This person's going to hurt them. This person's going to discriminate against them because their hair is blue, whatever, right? But the majority of people just want to go to work and live for Friday, have a nice beer on a Friday after work with the friends, at whatever. That's what the majority of people want. But society makes us think everyone hates each other.
Wait, tell me the pillars again. So it's
Look at this lady.
pro-life.
So, First Amendment, Second Amendment, sanctity of life, and veteran and first responders.
Okay.
And
First, second. Yep. Cool. The First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the sanctity of life, our veterans, I feel very passionately about. Do you guys, if you're going to talk about, I mean, you hate to even call them political issues, but do you specifically say like the left or the right, or is that something you try to kind of refrain from? Like if I were to say something to the effect of like the left is still doubling down.
Yeah, you can say okay. I've heard you introduce
crazy.
From the beginning, so.
Okay, first, that's what I needed to figure out really quick, is when I first, I mean, definitely over a year though. I would say, can I just say that, like around 2 years ago? Yeah. Wait, tell me the pillars again. So it's pro-life.
So First Amendment.
It's crazy, y'all.
Okay. First, second. Yep. Hello, my name is Riley Gaines, and I'm a very, very proud Patriot Mobile user, and I have been for about 2 years now.
Have you guys?
It's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, like these are the people that are promoting hate, promoting all that. Like we've seen a clip in our past video saying like, I was at a party and I saw Candace Owens hanging out with Whoopi Goldberg, hanging out with, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna say Whoopi Goldberg, but the equivalent of Candace Owens on the left, right? Whoever they are, right? But they were all hanging out at the party, you know, having a drink or whatever. But when they get in front of the camera, they promote hate, they promote division, they promote all that, y'all, because that's what pays them. That's what pays the bills, right? That's what pays the bills. So that's what they're gonna promote. It's crazy. Not
the
unity.
School photo conspiracy.
That doesn't pay the bills.
So basically, there is a theory that, and I don't want to get sued. This is all alleged and, you know, whatever. But there is a theory that before, you know, we had phones and everything, years ago, that we didn't have all this technology. So one way, allegedly, that they would get all of our data and all of our information and pictures of our faces and things like that would be to set up school photos where a photographer comes in and takes pictures of every single kid and getting images of all of the kids' faces and watching them age and, you know, collecting all that data. I don't know if I believe in this theory, but what I do think it's interesting that, like, because, you know, schools, like, the government has access to all of that. And now all these schools over the course of the last 100 years, there's just pictures and pictures and pictures of every child, every kid as they age. Like, it's kind of interesting.
Not just
You know, that's crazy too. But they also, I don't know if they still do this. Parents let me know down below. I've been out of school for a while, elementary especially. Get your fingerprints, right? The cops come in. We're having a cop day. They're going to have the dogs come out and attack the cop in a big suit. They're going to have the firefighters with the ladders spraying things. But we're also going to get your fingerprints. So any criminal down in the future, I never got in trouble. They forget elementary school. You gave them your fingerprint. Fingerprints don't change, right? They get you at a young age, y'all. They get you young. And I don't even know if they got permission from our parents. I don't even know. Because I heard when you go to school, like, you're the school's property now. You're no longer the parent. If something pops off, a parent can't go in there and get your kid. A cop can come. That's why some cops wait till school to get your kid, because they can interrogate them there with the school. They don't need a parent in there. They can just have like the principal in there or something. And you know, the principal is not 100% going to take the cop side no matter what. You know what I mean? That's what is school. Like you lose. I don't know if this is true. I heard it on a clip here, but you not lose custody, but kind of in a way, y'all. Like the school is your parent now when you go.
I'm like a complete conspiracy theorist, but I don't think there's any way that the Apple CEO has the same iPhone that I have. There's no way he's also using an iPhone that pretty much shuts down every time it's at 20% and 10% battery. I just don't see a world where he sets an alarm on his iPhone and it doesn't go off like the rest of us. You think his iPhone is also incapable of working in summer and says it's water damaged when you haven't been around water for 11 days. I don't know. I'm looking at my iPhone and I'm looking at the CEO and I'm like, there's no way you're...
For all the nonsense.
When I was a kid, they said camels had water in their humps. They don't. They claimed Christopher Columbus discovered America. First of all, he landed in the Bahamas, and he wasn't the first European to come here. Leif Erikson was, and he came up north. They also said that that people believed the earth was flat. No one ever believed the earth was flat.
At these Air Force bases, we know that it crashed shortly after takeoff. It led to a significant explosion. There appears to be a drone or some type of small aircraft flying across the street.
Drone.
Cameras. Our friends down there at the local Fox there in California have captured.
I remember being a kid, and this kid moved in around the corner from us in the neighborhood we grew up in. And we all loved the little guy across the street. It was a candy store. He knew our names. We knew his name. And this kid came around. You know, we let him play with us. And he was definitely different from all of us. The way he talked, he was cursing a lot. And then I remember going to the candy store, and he came back, and he stole from Mr. Dennehy at the candy store. We know him as Mr. Dennehy. We're like, you stole from him? And he was like, yeah, you know, it's a big deal. You know, you steal. Like, no, you don't do it. It's Mr. Dennehy. Like, we know him. Why would you do that? Yeah, so we shunned him out immediately. Some people would keep that and think it's cool or whatever. But no, being around bad people doesn't make you bad. Participating in the bad people's bad things, now you're in a whole different ballgame.
Dog, there were nights where I'm telling you, Vince, I don't even know how I'm fucking alive. There were nights that my white ass could tell you 6 shootings in a night. I remember going home where we hit a black light in the rooftop. Now, you know that, remember in the 86 Regals and Cutlasses, all this felt interior they had on the ceiling? Remember how the seats were all felt too? I remember my homeboy taxer put a black light in my car one night after we had been shooting for 6 different shootings all night.
And you fucking...
If you ever put a black light like the cops do when they're investigating you for murder, homie, it looked orange. The whole interior of my car. You could not get the smell of gunfire out of my car.
Damn, homie.
I mean, yeah, we would find shell casings in the car months later, not even know how did it end up in an air conditioning vent.
And then we wonder why we do suffer from PTSD.
Yeah, bro, the fact that I lived through, bro, there were times, Vince, I went home with bullet holes through my jeans.
Tell me the worst night that you can remember. Worst night out here on the streets, not incarcerated, on the streets. The worst.
There was a night with 6 shootings back to back successfully across Laurel Canyon, through North Hollywood, through Pacoima, through San Fernando, which was pretty intense.
Doing a show there.
See, like that, those clips were kind of put together. Like, why does he have tattoos all over his face? Why did that kid steal from the candy store? Where did that kid turn out? What is he doing now? Like, it starts as a child, y'all. Like, it starts as a child. That's like that dude with the tattoos all over his face. I'm pretty sure 100% his childhood was horrible. There was abuse, there was drugs, there was alcohol, there was, all that stuff. And that's why he got into those shootings. That's why he got there. I'm guessing. I'm pretty damn sure that that's what his childhood was. You know what I mean? So, it starts as a young one. It starts, having a father figure in the house, and that goes a long ways.
For 4,000 Muslims, and all in the front rows were the guys in the white dish dash and the women in the black and the few rows back. And I did the same show with Ahmed the Dead Terrorist, and that was their favorite character. Well, 2 nights later, I'm in the middle of Tel Aviv, Israel, doing the exact same show for 4,000 Jewish people. Didn't change a word of the show. And they all loved it equally the same. So my big thing is I truly feel this world is filled with good people that all want the same things. We want a house, we want a job, we want security, we want health care for our kids and ourselves and all that. And it takes a handful of idiots to f up for everybody else.
I'm told that China Lake at the moment is having a huge problem with UAPs. They are being swarmed. It's actually such a problem that it's hindered their ability to do weapons testing. This is a location where they're doing a lot of laser research, a lot of rocket testing. It's a huge remote part of the United States where the United States gets to test all its latest weaponry. And allegedly, there's been a constant presence in the last couple of years of what they believe are non-human craft over China Lake. And I've spoken to multiple people now, security personnel, scientists, military, who have confirmed that these swarms are occurring, that it's a huge problem, and they don't know what to do about it. China Lake is one of the areas, I'm told, where the United States was using both psionics and the dog whistle and high pulse microwaves to down alien craft. They have brought down craft in China Lake. That's my understanding.
The Dark Watchers, what are they? They are these creatures that show up in Central California's coastline, along hiking trails, ridges, and mountains, and you will just happen to look up, and there is a silhouette of a person on top of the ridge just looking back at you.
That's just your brain playing tricks. Of like seeing, I thought I saw a silhouette, blah, 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 the light, the forest, the trees making the silhouette, that.
All this chicken is lined up to be thrown in the trash. It's all on the assembly line to be thrown in the trash. It's pretty sad.
Nah, Krispy Kreme, this is unacceptable, bro. Unacceptable. I would have loved these donuts.
The only thing I can't stand about America is all this food that has to go in the trash. Once again, look at this. Look at this. Throwing away all that meat, but can't feed the staff. That's some shit.
Your boy is unfortunately at their horrendous second job, and the amount of food waste in this country is incredible.
It hurt in my heart to let all of this lobster go, but like.
I can't believe I just watched a worker bring out 20 pizza boxes just full of pizza and just toss them in the garbage.
My guy is throwing all of these donuts away.
You mean to tell me there's no homeless people that could use
The machine could do.
I mean, not even homeless people, just like, I mean, if you let the public know, you know, let's say they close at 5 o'clock, at 4 o'clock, we're putting out free donuts. Nobody would go buy stuff during the day. But there's got to be a way. Don't make so much. I don't know. But I remember there's always, maybe they did used to give it to employees, take boxes home to your families, donuts, whatever, Popeyes, right? But there's people that mess it up, right? I used to work for a company called Alliance, right? It was an alcohol company. We used to stock shelves in Total Wine. We would stock our product, Jack Daniels, Grey Goose, Ciroc, beers, whiskey, every wine, everything, right? So I think it was every 3 months or every month. We used to be able to go to what was called the boneyard, right? The boneyard was like, let's say they had a case of wine, which comes with six bottles of wine, right? And one of the wine bottles broke. Well, we can't sell that case no more, so it goes to the boneyard. So once a month or every quarter, whatever, we used to be able to go to the boneyard and we would be able to get 3 spirits, which was 3 bottles of liquor. This is when I used to drink, y'all. We used to get a case of beer, which is a 24-pack of beer, right? We can make it mix, match, whatever we want. And we used to get a case of wine, right? We used to do that every month or every quarter, right? But somebody ruined it. Somebody was doing that and then taking it to a liquor store and selling it to them, right? So they got rid of it. No more boneyard. Now they probably just dump the liquor and all that, or the top dogs get it. I don't know, but maybe they did used to do that at Krispy Kreme. They used to give, take it to the family or whatever. We're gonna have it out for whatever at the gas station for free. That's how it used to be when I was little. We knew in the morning if you went early in the morning, the days before they gave it away. So we used to go 5 a.m. to Krispy Kreme at Chevron when I was little. But there's always people that ruin it, y'all.
100 bowls an hour. Constantly iterating, and then of course the infinite bowl making machine. It can make salads, it can make fast casual Mexican, it can make Greek bowls, poke bowls, any kind of bowl. A third of our sales are in bowl concepts. The most inconsistency that we're seeing is in bowls because humans are making it and they sort of make it with different portion size or they might miss an ingredient. Beautiful thing about this machine,
More overconsumption.
The bowl actually is on a maglev and the bowl spins and the ingredients are put very beautifully in the bowl so it looks and presented incredible and there's no errors.
How does 2 helicopters collide, killing Oliver Tree not even a month after he exposed Atlantic Records for doing him wrong? How? How does that happen? And it's kind of funny how the one helicopter was only just a pilot. Nobody else was in that one. And the other one was full of Oliver Tree and all his friends, I'm assuming. I don't know the full details on it. But it makes you wonder. It really makes you think. He literally had called out Atlantic Records for not helping him budget the album, release the album, all that, cut ties and all that. And it was like a mess. It was a mess on what Oliver said. And then all of a sudden, a month later, he's dead. Makes you think. I don't think it's a coincidence. I mean, it could be. Who knows? If this video gets taken down, you know. You know.
There's like this myth that all of our ancestors died at age 30. That's bullshit.
What was the year this was at?
You're talking like 300,000 years ago. Okay. Everybody says our ancestors, they all died at 30. No, when you remove infant mortality, once you got past this age of early teens, you would see people living late into their 70s, which right now the average lifespan in the United States is 76. And there's a lot of fossil records showing people living into their 80s and stuff. They live brutal lives, why we need Western medicine, right? Like if any of us got a massive cut, yeah, go to the fucking hospital.
5, 10 years, 15, 20 years,
I think
20, 30 years.
I think within the next 3 to 5 years, you're going to start hearing rumblings of hearings.
I don't want, okay, but something more substantial than rumblings of hearings.
No, because this is a big deal.
You're going to hear whispers of rumors and rumblings of hearings, Kevin. Come on, we're almost there.
I think you'll start to hear the pressure building to have congressional hearings.
Oh,
on
I
this.
see. Okay.
And then once that happens, things get a little scary because then on a public level, they have to act on this. Now, what does that mean? What are they going to do? Now, I know a lot of things of what we've done, but the idea of those things happening on a public, form is just, it's terrifying.
It could be chaos.
It could be chaos.
Yeah.
You know, the reason they
a lot of people called him crazy, y'all. Even people that used to watch my videos back in the day when I first started, I was posting his clips, and people were, why are you posting him? He's a shill and all that stuff he was saying that people were laughing at. It came true.
Teach you to like put your head down in a crash and stuff like that is to make because if you crash headfirst in an airplane, not only are you for sure gonna die, but just to make sure, like if you're in that position, your spine would shoot through your fucking head. Like it would kill you instantly, right? So the theory is that they have you get in that position to make sure you die. Because the lawsuit, if you survive a commercial plane crash, is like ridiculous.
That's a wild.
It makes sense to me. I get everything's run by money, dude. The whole operation, just
When he was mapping our universe, he found error correcting codes in our universe, which you would find in a program in a computer. So this is a realm. I think what we're seeing as far as reality is actually not what it seems at all. There's declassified documents called they released this years ago, something called the gateway process. In the gateway process, they show that our universe is nothing but a hologram projection, and it's energetically charged. So everything is energy. Everything is a projection per se. This is why manifestation, pulling things to you, is very real. And people who don't believe in energy, I pose the question, do you believe in the sun? That's one big ball of energy. You wake up to it every day. So I think what we're living in, and it will be disclosed maybe sooner than later. I don't think that, again, it's not round nor circle, but it's something completely else differently.
The best real estate in the United States is what we stole from Mexico. We did pay Mexico for that land after the fact. So in the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, when Mexico surrendered, we chopped off literally the top 50%. We cut Mexico almost exactly in half. And then a few years later, we were surveying where we're going to put the railroad tracks. And the survey team in the south went, oh, we're going to run into these really nasty mountains. And they crossed the border into Mexico, and they looked around and they went, oh, we didn't annex enough. So the United States actually went back to Mexico and said, hey, we'd like to renegotiate the border. And it's called the Gadsden Purchase.
Money talks, right?
And Mexico went, we're bitter about you stealing the northern half. And then the United States said, okay, we'll pay you money for the northern half, and we'll buy this chunk of land from you.
Have you guys heard of the Tigon worm from the Indonesia?
No.
So the Tigon worm, so the movie Dune, you know, like the worms.
Real quick, these powers that be, they know how to make us happy, right? We'll lower the gas prices right after this war. We're going to raise it, and right when it's done, we're going to drop it. How interest rates going to come down, right? Gas prices, groceries, college. We're going to be living the American dream again. Okay, do what you want. Put more money in my pocket, right? It's been going on since the beginning of time, y'all.
Big one. The wormages that swim under. So they actually are based off a real life creature critter in the Indonesia. That's where they're from.
And they're that size?
They're big. One. I think they
movie
never come up
Tremors.
to the surface, but one kid there, like a 14-year-old, baited one to the future to the surface with some Oreos. He put some Oreos out, and it came up to snack treat on him, and he snapped.
I always said I wasn't going to
And
put
they're
this
super
dude
pink,
on.
but they
No more.
live like super low in the mantle. Like low because they like a little bit of heat. But now the scientists are thinking, do these actually swim in the magnet lava down in there? But yeah, it's based off a real creature critter. No one really dies from them because they don't eat humans. But if you're standing in the way when they come up to the surface, it's going to be like a landmine goes off below you. So I think on average, like 23 people in Indonesia die a year.
Please tell me I'm not losing my mind. The only thing that is unique about Mona Lisa was her undistinguishable expression. No one could tell if she was smiling or not. That's a clear smile. You could go on the street and ask everyone, and everyone would say she's smiling. Back then, when I was in school, we were discussing, is she smiling or not? Because that is the most unique feature of this painting. Please tell me I'm not losing my mind. That's not Mona Lisa. That's not the Mona Lisa I know from my childhood.
That is a smile.
Some
a little
old
smirk.
bitch running around in her drawers with chaps on, who advertised the song with a banjo, and we got no banjo. Had Blue Ivy out there making mistakes and looking wild, forgetting where she was. And they keep putting this little girl in dresses where her cleavage is pushed up. You know, when I think about her, it makes me think about Drew Barrymore. You know, Drew Barrymore was running around going to Hollywood parties when she was around that age, and she was already an alcoholic. She grew up Hollywood legacy, third generation. The Barrymore family had a huge name, and yet that girl was essayed, and she was turned out by 13.
What's happening with Blue Ivy is terrifying. She may be about to go through something no celebrity child has ever experienced before. Lately, Blue Ivy has been appearing more and more in the spotlight, on stage with her mother, at events designed for adults, wearing outfits that seem far removed from what people would expect for someone her age. And in every appearance, she looks lost, almost as if she doesn't know why she's there. And then someone pointed out a comparison that sends chills down your spine. Most people know Drew Barrymore, but very few know that she was born into a Hollywood legacy. She came from one of the biggest family names in the industry. Yet by the age of 13, her life was already falling apart, reportedly exploited by the adults around her. Now, when some people look at Blue Ivy, they see the exact same pattern. A child born into an empire, pushed into the spotlight before she's even old enough to choose for herself. And then there's everything surrounding this family, including their recent trip to Cuba, a country often associated by some people with occult traditions. What makes it even stranger, according to this theory, is seeing Blue Ivy repeating the same hand signs as her parents during public appearances, almost as if she had been taught to display her allegiance before even understanding what it means. Some believe we are watching a child being prepared for something, and everyone applauds because she's Beyonce's daughter. But the story of Drew Barrymore showed what can happen when a child in this industry isn't protected, and some people fear it could be even worse for her.
I'm sorry, but these young kids now are dressing just like their moms now, listening to the same things their moms and parents are listening to. Like, I can't tell you how many times I see, on TikTok, like an older dad, like let's say my age, 40, maybe 40. And he's like, he's so proud that his kid's listening to the same, the Bone Thugs, the Easy E's, like, and I'm just thinking like, God, that music is so terrible. And all the comments are like, yeah, my kid's raised right too. And like, damn, man, like I would be ashamed if my sons were listening to the same music I was listening to when I was in high school. You know what I mean? Especially if they got it from me. If they find it on their own, okay. But if I'm the one like, here, listen to this, talking about murder, talking about drugs, I would be a damn ashamed of that, y'all, putting that music in the car with my kids and I'm driving with them. You know what I mean? If I'm listening to music, it's something positive, it's something that motivates me, it's something that, but I guess you just get older and wiser, but some people find pride in that my kids listening to the same music I listen to. I'm raising them right.
Realize they have deleted all the creativity out of everything. Look around you. Look at all the car colors. It's mostly white, gray, and black. You'll see a blue and red here and there, but look at the McDonald's play places. Look how extravagant and beautiful they used to be.
If they even have it.
All the creativity is gone. Okay? I think this has to do with Project Looking Glass. They're dulling everything down. They're keeping everything the same. Hollywood is recreating all the old movies. They're keeping us stagnant for a reason, guys. Something bad is coming. The Black Swan event is coming. Prepare your family.
These people are putting this stuff right in y'all face, bro.
Scary Movie 6.
Scary Movie 6.
Just keep repeating.
Drake just dropped the album that he dropped, and he was throwing up this same thing, right? Scary Movie 6. Look at this cover art. Marlon Wayans was just in the movie Him, and that movie was telling us what goes on in sports, what goes on in Hollywood, what goes on with these public figures, right? And they come out with this movie, Scary Movie 6. Movie Him was speaking about how these people do rituals and do all these things to make it to the top and to keep their status at the top.
I mean, Tom Brady came out at a press conference saying how his wife does whatever she does, Santeria or whatever. Y'all do what I say and this will happen. Right? On national TV talking about it while he's getting shaved with a razor. Everyone was cracking up. They tell you. It ain't no shock.
Streams, Marlon told one of Kai's friends that, he's not going to be here long. He going to pass away. Why would he say that? Something about that didn't sit right. Then he's in the movie Him that explains a lot. Then Scary Movie 6, Casanet, and he's in the movie Scary Movie 6. And what happens to Kai in Scary Movie 6? Casanet is beheaded in Scary Movie 6. And they say it's funny, it's just a comedy. And they had it set up like they were on stream. All of this stuff is not by coincidence. And look at Kai lately. He's not the same. He don't act the same. His personality didn't shifted, it didn't change. It's not the Casanet that everybody knew. But people think that this is just a coincidence. Oh, he's just growing, oh, he's just getting bigger. Everything is spiritual. Scary Movie 6. Come on, bro. They throwing this.
You know, I thought the clip was over. Sorry about that. I saw a clip, a TikTok. I didn't put it on the video or nothing, but I was like, that's so true. Like, they're like, I just miss the 90s, man. I miss the 90s when you can just go out and eat a burger and fries and not think you're getting poisoned, or you can watch a movie and not called a sellout. And you know what I mean? Like, I miss those days, y'all, when you can just drink a beer, right? You imagine it. I don't drink, but could you imagine if I was sitting here drinking beer? The level of comments I would get on that. Why are you poisoning yourself? You're such a bad dad. And you know what I mean? Like, I miss the 90s when you just, I could eat a burger or McDonald's right here while I'm sitting here live streaming with you guys. You can't do that no more, y'all. You can't do that, right? You can't do that. But, you know, I wouldn't watch this movie anyways. I've only seen part 1, part 2. Once they got past that, I'm like, there is no more scary movies to do. There's no scary movies that come out no more.
Around everywhere. The Wayans family is not successful because they stick together. They're successful because they compromise. They always have compromised. Look at the roles that they have played. And
yeah, they always did some crazy stuff.
Look what he was doing. Overly zesty. It's not by coincidence, bro. Repent, bro. A lot of the stuff that they're putting out right now and pushing, it has an agenda behind it. And they're putting it right in the cover arts. They're putting it in the scenery. They're putting it in the movies. They're putting it in the videos. They're putting it in their posts. They're putting it in their photo shoots. They're putting it right in y'all face. And y'all continue to support it. Don't be deceived. I love y'all. God bless y'all. All glory to God. And y'all already know, Jesus Christ is Lord.
And a little update. I haven't seen Disclosure Day, y'all. Got a couple emails from you guys and all that. So I'm saying it's not that good, but I didn't get to go on Tuesday, y'all. We had some things come up on Monday. But stay tuned. A lot of people want to see what I think of it. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't forgot.
See what happened to Taraji? There's no way that this is the same person at all. Zero chance that this is the same individual. And there she is with all of her friends and stuff, celebrating her new look.
Yeah,
right?
It doesn't look like her at all.
What is really going on here? And why are all of these celebrities looking different? Because I'm sure that this is the Taraji that each and every one of you remember, right? Right? So again, who is that other lady? Now you can just say, oh, she lost weight, or she got a makeover, or
hey,
she
that
cut her
Ozempic
hair,
does that,
or
y'all.
like
Changes
that,
your
right?
whole look.
But there's something more going on here. And she's even denying that anything happened, right? But I don't know what's going on, because again, this is the Taraji that I'm sure that most, if not all of you, remember. Again, I don't know what is going on, you all, with all of these celebrities. I don't know what's going on anymore. But you have to admit that something ain't right at all with how these celebrities have been looking recently. But maybe there's nothing to this. Maybe this is the same person and there is nothing to see here. But you always have to question everything. What do you think? Wake up.
I mean, you can tell she got some work done, y'all, but I don't understand why. You know, I think it's these, I think it's their agents, their managers that tell them, because Taraji P. Henson's beautiful, y'all, beautiful woman. But I think these people get in their ears and they come out and they tell them, like, you need to do something with your nose, right? You need to do something with your facial structure. And then they just go down down the deep end of that, and they come out looking like a different person. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and say she was cloned or whatever, y'all. I think the powers that be, these stylists, these agents, they get in their ear. You want these parts, you got to make this look like this, because on the screen it's going to look better. It might not look good in person in your everyday life, but on the screen you're going to be flawless, right? I don't
I want to be
know.
involved
I don't
so bad,
understand
but
it.
nobody asked me about no damn gift. What's good?
So is there going to be a public registry? Because I'm going to be honest with you. Take the gift cards. Everybody's presents. Take the gift cards, take the gift cards, take the gift cards.
Yeah, because they might put, what's that thing that was going around in the early 2000s? And
Yeah, how you feeling? I'm feeling great. I'm so nervous, a little bit overwhelmed. I feel a little shaky. I don't know what's wrong with me. No, it's good. It's great. And you're amazing.
If the prediction that Brazilian psychic made about what's going to happen on June 24th in Miami at the World Cup is true, then they ain't playing fair.
You imagine?
The psychic from Brazil that has been accurate with a lot of her predictions is doubling down on what she predicted to happen. She claims that on June 24th in Miami at a large sporting event, a mothership is going to appear. And for the first time in history, we're going to witness this. And this mothership that appears, she's saying that this mothership is going to take 700 people. You heard what I just said? She said we're going to watch 700 people, including players on the field, go up into the air. Now, you know how some psychics say they're not 100% sure that their prediction is going to happen. She doubled down on hers. She said that she believes that everything that she's saying is going to happen. She said that this is going to be the moment right here when people are disclosed about aliens, about interdimensional beings, about UAPs, about UFOs. She's saying that time is about to come. Now, if you jump down that rabbit hole and you do your own research, what movie did Steven Spielberg put out today? Disclosure Day, right? And that lines up with what this lady is saying. Now, I'm not saying that this is true. What I'm saying is she believes it's true. What I will say is jump down another rabbit hole. Search Brazil. See about all the things that's been happening in Brazil. And then come back and tell me what you saw. Pay attention.
That right there is the one-eyed monster. It's cute, right? Wrong. It's not cute. He is going to eat one of you alive. The game is easy. It's very easy. I'll ask you a question. I'll even tell you what the answers are. Just remember that. All the answers are between 0 and 5. For instance, if I would ask you how many eyes does the one-eyed monster have, and the answer would be 1. It's a one-eyed monster. All right. But if you would be...
I think we should play our own game. The first question is, why have you fled the country? Why does it seem like you are on the run? The second question is, what has been going on in your life, because you have aged like non-pasteurized milk in the sun. You always said symbology be their downfall. They've got to put things like this in the show, and they always do, hence why there is enough material for me and every other person in my niche for the rest of their life, because all of their shows are riddled with stuff like this. But most people don't see behind the veil.
World War I is from 1492 to 1775, when America was attacked by 7 countries simultaneously. For 283 years, they bombed this place. Russia took Alaska, Netherlands took Canada, British and England took the East Coast, Italy took Texas up to the Gulf, France took New Orleans up the Gulf, and Spain came around the West Coast down through Argentina, Chile, and up the backside. 7 countries attacked Black America. In 1775, we surrendered and lost the right to vote. They put us in slavery camps. They labeled them reservations, and the ones that did not go on reservations was labeled Negro.
They knew the drones the entire time were not drones. The whole drone thing that we had going on, there's documents in this new UAP file drop that are from 2023, and them going over that they knew that these were not drones, that they were orbs, that they were UFOs, that they were all of these other things, and they were monitoring it while they were telling us that they weren't, that they didn't know what they were, and they did. And that is very rude. There are also some recordings from Apollo 16. They're going over their debrief after the mission, talking about the anomalies and the UAPs and all that kind of stuff that they witnessed during their mission and how they're going to avoid them the next time. And then we have some videos, but the videos weren't that great. They were more like civilian videos, so they're good quality videos. You can see the UAPs. They're mostly like orbs and stuff like that. They're pretty good. They're good. But it's not like military footage or anything. Not that you guys were excited about the military footage anyways, so who cares? I have a lot more documents to go through, so I just thought I'd let you know that they have dropped the files if you're like me and want to look through all of the files. The fair warning, the first like 25 documents suck.
Most people fall off by the 30th, right?
Okay, love you.
It's all strategic.
Okay, guys, so I hope you can hear me, but the sky is so beautiful right now. I just decided to stop and snap some pictures. But the wind was rocking so hard, it's blowing my car. And I've been standing here for about 10 minutes, and I don't know about you, but I think it's awfully funny. The wind is rocking my car, but these clouds have not moved. They have not moved at all. Now, this is for entertainment purposes, TikTok. Get out of my business. But tell me, am I crazy? When the wind blows, shouldn't the clouds be moving? It almost looks like it's a painted on, like, backdrop screen or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just nuts.
What was it that he thought he saw?
Yeah, tell him. So I used to hunt with a fella, and it was during spring turkey season, and we get out there. It's late in the evenings, this whole thing. That dude comes tearing back into the camp on his four-wheeler and just starts loading stuff into his truck.
Didn't even tell you
and
he's
we're
out.
all like, dude, we all just got down here. You've been down here one day. Where are you going? He starts loading, and he won't talk to anybody. They all go to talking to him, and he finally tells us that he witnessed something in his stand. He was hunting pigs and all this stuff. He witnessed something in his stand walking. He said at first he thought it was a cow, just cattle pushing through cedar breaks. Because then he realized that it's above the cedar trees. And what he described was a large, hairy, ape-looking thing with cedar trees hitting him under the armpits as he's pushing his way through.
Damn.
He said he saw it move for a little bit. It went off a little roll off of a ridge down into a bottom, and he saw it again pop back up as it made its way all the way to the creek. He said, I'm watching it this whole time as it's moving down through there. And he said, it's moving like a giant man pushing its way through. When it gets out of sight, he gets down, got on there and left. He left that night. He never came back for his things, and he proceeded within the year to sell all of his fishing gear, all of his hunting gear, and he never went back in the woods again. He died 7 years later of cancer, and that man swore to it until the day he died. He never went in the woods. He never let his family go, none of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he died still saying the exact same thing. And he had been a hunter and a fisherman his whole life.
Did he call it Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Or just...
What do you... I can't even imagine putting yourself in that situation.
Being changed like that?
Or looking at him saying, please don't see me. Like,
yeah.
I can't even imagine.
A man that I did some work with that it was actually a contractor for the state. Him and I did some work together. He's from East Texas. He had a friend, and I've told this story too. He had a buddy that had gone bass fishing out there with this guy, with him and his dad had gone bass fishing. They're in the wee hours of the morning. It's right as the sun's coming up. They're making their way around.
The case of Sandra Bland is one of the most impactful and downright creepy cases in the history of this country. So Sandra Bland was a 28-year-old civil rights activist from Illinois. While in Waller County, Texas, she was pulled over for a very minor traffic infraction. Things escalated and got out of hand super quickly. I just want you to take a quick watch of this video.
My car, what I put out my cigarette.
Well, you can step on out now. Step out of the car.
No, you don't have the right.
Step out of the car.
You do not have the right to do that.
I do have the right. Now step out or I will remove you.
And I'm calling my
I'm going to yank you out of here.
Okay, you going to yank me out of my car?
Get out.
Okay, trust me.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
And then you
I will light you up. Get out.
Wow.
Now.
Right, yeah. Yeah, let's take this to court. Let's
go ahead.
So she was in jail for a total of 3 days, right? But then this is where the entire case turned on its head. On July 13th, 2015, jail ruled it a unaliving of herself, right?
Yeah.
But her family and the world didn't believe this was true because she had just gotten a new job offer. She was super happy all of the time, and she made phone calls while in jail and seemed super excited about the future and about getting out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then this next moment changed everything. This photo was released of Sandra Bland, which was taken on the day of her intake 3 days before she was allegedly found dead. If you look at this photo, there's a couple of reasons why people believe that she's dead. First of all, if you look at her eyes are clearly not focusing on the same thing. And it appears as if the eyes are edited. It lacks color consistency. And then the biggest one of all, if you look at the way that the shadow is cast behind her, the shadow is cast as if a light is coming from directly in front of her, which would mean that she's laying down. And then if look at the way her hair is flowing, her hair is falling down.
Kind of does look
as
like
if
she is
gravity
laying down
pulling
now
it
that I
toward
look
the
at
ground.
it.
But the majority of people who see this photo do not believe that Sandra Bland was alive in this picture.
It's back. It keeps peeking in here on me. Oh my goodness gracious, what the hell? Ain't nobody in the other room. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh, my pistol's in the other room. I can't do it. What in the hell is that? Oh my gosh. It keeps... Hello? What do you need? I don't even know who you are.
A mountain lion.
This house is haunted. There's something in the other room. Look at that. What is that? Oh, hell no. What the hell is that? What in the hell? Oh, hell no.
Did Oliver Tree have some kind of premonition that this was actually going to happen today? When I tell you I've been on Google digging for hours, I'm not kidding. Something just did not sit right in my gut. And trust me, I didn't want this to be true either. It was just one of those things, right? So this is his last album. And by the way, this is right when he went independent. You can learn about that on my last video. You know how he broke free from Atlantic Records, went independent, then made a really weird video on Instagram showing a certain situation a lot of people are aware of? If you didn't know, this was the kind of stuff he posted right after he went independent. And then about a month later, he passes away right before he turns 33. Check this out. It's a piece of a plane or maybe a helicopter. In some pictures it looks like B2, in some it looks like A2. But do you want to know what's insane about B2? And just wait, it gets a whole lot freaking crazier. We had a Bell 206 and a Eurocopter crash into each other. Bell 206, B2, even if it's A2. The video afterwards shows all these helicopters just metal as far as the eye can see, scraps all over the... What? And check this part out. This is where it goes wild. I was going through all of his old videos, and if you saw my last video, you know about the one with the guy with the really weird mask. If you don't, watch it after this one. He was on stage with someone dressed like this, maybe Inca or Aztec. This is actually what they'd wear in their ceremonies, you know, outside the pyramid before they brought their offering up. Why do we see the same exact thing in the FIFA World Cup? Are y'all freaking getting this? I mean, this is just absurd.
The swirls?
Almost like the ceremony at FIFA was a giant unrelated. We've seen many people try to get out of these labels, and then crazy stuff just happens to go down. Let me tell you this last part. Every one of his albums with Atlantic was basically satanic or blasphemous, and then right when he got out, that stopped all of a sudden. I think he was trying to show you guys something that goes down. The full breakdown's on YT. Search Real Moon Henry. Let's pray that he escaped and got saved before this happened.
What do you believe happens when we die?
Physics probably gives you some sense of which questions you want to ask or not. And I guess the right answer from a physics point of view is I don't know. What I love about physics is that there is a sense in which if it's done right and honestly, you can have these revelations. Like you can learn something about nature. And I think that whether you're religious or not, everybody appreciates nature. And so we're trying to find the rules. And if anything, that seems pretty close to the part of religion that gives you answers or some sense of like, this is the way things are. Like you're trying to find an origin story, right? So like that kind of origin story aspect of it, I think that science is after. But I like the fact that we are supposed to admit when we don't know things.
There were 7 attempts on Trump's life that never made the internet. The reason they went after Iran because Iran paid $10 million to get him killed.
10 million?
For sure. You can look that up. $10 million bounty on his life. If you go to Chicago and sit outside the Obama house, you're going to see 10 different Obamas come out all day. You never seen tall Joe Biden? What they say in the Epstein files? Joe Biden got killed in 2019? Look up tall Joe Biden.
Tall Joe Biden?
You see that? Joe Biden come out 6'7", different ears and everything.
And that is wild.
He really did. He had a late growth spurt. Remember that? But anyways, y'all, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you made it this far, leave a like, comment, subscribe. It is 11 o'clock, a little late, right? I still need to get my morning routine down, y'all. I struggle with my morning routine. I love my coffee. I just tell myself I don't drink, I don't smoke, I can't eat carbs without losing my freaking mind. I love my morning coffee. I'm sorry. I like to sit there for 2 hours and drink my morning coffee. That's my thing. You know what I mean? But I got to go get Mama Bear's car registered out here because even though we're going back to Texas, because we're not happy here, y'all. I don't know. I thought I'd come home, try it out. We did it. I miss freaking Texas, y'all. I miss Texas. There's something about it. I don't know. It's the people. It's the quietness. It's not chaotic like out here. It's the weather. I just miss it, y'all. So we're going back. But anyways, I still got to get the car registered because the insurance says so. And you know what you got to do what they say. So I'm gonna go get that done, y'all. Come home, have some lunch, and just hang out today, y'all. Hope everyone out there has a good day. Hope you guys enjoyed this hour banger. We're back with the hour bangers. I shouldn't be as busy no more. Hour and 13 minutes. Hopefully there's not a ton of copyrights that takes it down to 58 minutes, y'all. But if it is, just know the original copy of this video was an hour and 13 minutes. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow on the next one. Later.